So yesterday we were talking about the task, how we can create the custom task, how we can execute. So those kind of things, right? Like what kind of task we have. So today we will talk about how we can monitor those tasks and how we can schedule. So far you know how we can create account aggregation, group aggregation, refresh, identity, task buffer, maintenance, certification. So there is a requirement to create some custom task how we can create. That's what yesterday you have learned. Now, and apart from that, if you want to combine all 50 account aggregation and you want to execute it one shot, so we can do that using the sequential task. Or if there is any rule you want to execute on a daily basis, then we can do it using the run rule task. Something like, is there right? If you want to export any object from one environment to another environment, we have a task for that, but we won't use this one data export. We have another task. So we will install using the plugin. Okay, and we will do that. So as part of the plugin, I will cover OK. So how we can import, how we can export objects. The object could be anything from one environment to another environment. Let's say, from dev to test, test to stage. So, as part of the deployment, if I want to deploy any objects, I will use that. It will be very helpful. We will talk about that later. Okay, so the same. As you know, yesterday we have created one sequential task, and in that we have some 5 or 6 tasks, but they're right. And if you want to schedule those tasks to run on a daily basis, how we can do that? So this is a sequential account aggregation task yesterday. We have created inside that some 4 or 5 tasks are the right. The same. If you want to schedule on a daily basis, how you can do it? Nothing. Just select the sequential account aggregation, right-click Schedule. So using this, you can schedule one more task with a different name. So schedule sequential account aggregation task is the name. If you want, you can provide the description and the first execution from when to when, I mean from when the task is going to execute first time. So if you want, you can mention the time, or else you want it to execute right now. Then click on the right now. OK. The execution frequency. You can select from here whether the task is going to execute on a daily basis, hourly basis, weekly basis, monthly basis you can select, or the task is going to execute only once. Once we won't select, OK, there is no purpose of having schedule then. OK. You can select something like that. So let's say, I have selected for hourly. I have a question. So the task you want to execute on a minute basis, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes you want to execute. So in that scenario, what will you do? So here we have a once hourly, but we don't have to set for 5-minute basis. And already yesterday we have discussed if it is a performance maintenance task, any system-related task, then the task will be executed on 5-minute or 10-minute basis. So client will say so, based on the threader availability, we will discuss, we will plan. Okay. So let's say performance maintenance task yesterday, we have created, and the execution has to be 10 minutes. In that scenario, is it possible to achieve? How we can achieve? It's possible, but how we can achieve any idea? We can choose this daily, and probably we can check the timings and everything. from there. Yeah, we can choose this daily, and then we can. Yeah. Oh, it will not give us the options after that. No, nothing. So if I'm going to select hourly, then it will be executed hourly basis. Now, if time is 8:80 a.m., then it will be executed at 9:80 a.m., but you want to execute at 5-minute interval, basis time interval. So let me schedule first. Okay, so we understand right. So just right-click the task, whatever task you want to schedule on a timely basis, provide the name and description, the first execution, when it's going to execute. So it will be very important, the first execution. Based on that, the next execution is going to be happening. So select the time accordingly when the task is going to execute. So after that, execution frequency, hourly, monthly, daily, you can select. If it is a big one, if the task is taking time to get complete, let's say, JDBC account aggregation or any cloud application. If it is taking more time, like 6 or 7 hours. In that scenario, you don't want to hurt any task server. You can particularly mention that, and which server the task has to be run. So something like XYZ server. If you want, you can mention, the task will be executed on this particular server, one in the host. Okay. Let's say this, XYZ is not available. The server is not available. It's not up. So in that scenario, this task won't get executed, so better provide some backup server as well. Okay. Though, if XYZ is not available, in that scenario it will run on ABC server. Something like this, okay. Right now I'm going to schedule. Go to Schedule Task. From here you can check. So the Schedule SQL account aggregation, the first one. We have done it. Okay. The first time I have selected 8, 10, I mean some differences there. The time interval after 8, 12, you can check the interval will be like 1 hour. The first will be 1 hour interval basis. Now let's come to the point. If you want to achieve something like this, the performance task is going to execute on 5-minute basis. Is it possible to achieve 8:10 a.m. and the next execution is 8:15 a.m.? So this is the default task, and we can do it. Something like if it is a custom one. Any idea? Guys, I'm audible. Yes, but yeah, you're not able to hear. Yeah, then fine. So let's refresh this. Let me check. The execution is 8:12. I'm waiting to get it complete, so it will take the time. Okay. The moment that schedule sequential account aggregation is going to execute, and what will happen? We'll check. So from this scheduled task, if you're going to open, it will open something like this. So from the back end, we can change the timings, and all using the Chrome expression. Have you guys heard Chrome expression before? Chrome jobs which can be scheduled on Unix servers, or something like that. Yeah. So we'll use the Chrome expression to schedule. Okay. Now you can check. The time has been changed for 1 hour basis. Sequential account aggregation. So the last execution, 8:12 a.m., and the next execution is going to be 9:12 a.m. But time duration is 1 hour.